What's up, folks? Johnny Lee Reinoso here with Don't Admire, Acquire. Hope you're doing well. Hey, in today's video, I want to talk to you about the four ways in which you can create urgency in your sales process. Okay, folks, listen to me clearly. The four ways that'll help you create urgency in your sales process. Let's get started.
I'm Johnny Lee Reinoso, and this is Don't Admire, Acquire.
Okay, point number one, needs. You must be driven by identifying their needs. If you're focused on truly creating value, you need to know how you can create value. If you're truly in love with your prospect and you want to deliver a solution, you need to know what are you trying to solve, right? That's the process to try to get a deal done. So, with that being said, you need to identify their needs. What are the challenges they're dealing with? What are their current pain points? What's keeping them up at night that everybody likes to say still, right? But what's truly creating agita and heartburn in that executive, in that prospect's mind, okay, and in that business model and in that business structure that they're dealing with? Now, with that in mind, you want to transition that to point number two. Now, this is something people don't do, so listen closely here. You want to identify how long have they been dealing with this? Because I firmly believe, especially with complex sales, especially in the B2B world, many sales executives have challenges. They have needs. They have issues. But it's something that they deal with. It's something that they're able to massage. They're able to kick that ball down the field, and albeit it's annoying, frustrating, and they know if they address it, they can operate much better, more efficient, maybe generate more revenue. But it's not critically important to address it because they could still hit and achieve the certain milestones or expectations that their board, leadership, and shareholders want from them. Okay, so hear me out. Identify their challenge, identify their needs, get to know their challenge and pain, but find out how long have they been dealing with it so that you could start to frame whether or not it's a want or a need. A want is something that you would like to have, pretty cool. I would like that. I want that. I want that. A need is, I don't know. I need it. Okay? Needs are non-negotiables. True needs are non-negotiables. I need to solve this problem. I would like to solve it is not a need. Okay? And if you have a prospect with the I would like approach, don't give up on that prospect. Don't give up. It's your job to continue to identify how you can achieve what that would like to be, okay, would like to achieve. It's your job to articulate how you can do it and how important it is to do it and start to formulate a little sense of urgency by creating a bit more fear around not accomplishing it, okay? So don't give up on those I would like to. No. Pursue that still. But again, you want to identify this once you know what their needs are. Identify how long have they been dealing with it? So you know really, is it something that's going to happen that they need to address immediately, or if it's something that's been dealing with for a long time, so then you know how to frame your follow-up questions to that, right? As I just stated. Now, point number three is start to hurt the hurt. You want to create an urgency, and I don't mean to be malicious. I'm not here to say, create a sad story and create pain for your prospect. That's not what I'm saying here. When I say try to and start to hurt the hurt, it's when you start to ask the right questions to get them thinking about their business a little differently and to get them to envision and experience an outcome that's not desirable and then an outcome that is truly desirable. So let's take, for instance, you meet with an executive, you identify some of their pain points, you understand that they have a need to address a certain process in their business. And if they don't, it could cost them a fair amount of money, and it could, probably derail that business unit's ability to achieve the milestones and the KPIs that are needed for that executive to truly shine in his organization, right? So now you start asking questions, right? And you start saying things like, well, let me ask you a question, Steve. It sounds like what you have here is something of scale and complexity that is truly weighing on you and in your ability to achieve greatness within your business unit. Am I correct with that? Yeah, it is. Yeah. I see that here. Now, what would happen if you don't address this, this quarter and even going into next? I mean, how do you see this challenge Is it something that you think has the ability to continue to grow and become more of a true detriment to your business? Is this something that you feel like, you guys have been able to manage here already, but it's still, holding you back from truly accomplishing your organization and your unit's full potential? Tell me a little bit more. If you don't address this, what does it look like in 3 to 6 months? You see, I want this person to experience the idea of not fixing and not addressing to begin to hurt that hurt, to begin to create a feeling of sadness, disgust, and frustration if they don't fix it, okay? And immediately after they begin to go down that path, you then segue that into, now what does it look like, when you go, and you don't want to do it in a very juvenile way. Now tell me, what does it look like if you do fix this issue? No, that's not the way you do it, right? You got to do it in a storytelling conversation flow. I see that, Steve. So not addressing it could cause a great burden. But you know what's great? You've been a leader here for so many years. You truly understand where the value lies, where the opportunity is, and the ability to really grow your unit, your business. So looking at that, and the fact that you've already identified this as being a strong need of yours that you need to take care of, what does it look like when it's addressed? How are you going to scale to the next level? Because obviously you have great opportunity to take it on, right? You see, it's just you're getting that person thinking now in a positive fashion. You're getting that person thinking that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Like, hey, by the way, we're going to fix this. We got this, buddy. We're going to take care of this. We're going to work with you. We're going to identify this. We're going to crush it together. But I have to ask you a question. When you start to crush it and you start to kill it, how does that feel, right? That's the whole basis of that framework, right? Of that kind of approach. Because now that person starts to feel excited. They start to feel like it's possible. They start to feel like it's real, right? And that's where you segue right into, well, look, I don't want to slow this down. It sounds as though this is critical and obviously very important to you to get this done. So rather than look at, a future date, I have some flexibility here coming up later this week into early next. I'll make sure to have my team available as well. We'll make the calendar space for you so we can kick this off and get started sooner than later. You see, so at that point now, I basically allowed him to realize, or allowed that person to realize, that I have a very, I would say, busy, somewhat hectic calendar, but your need is so important to me that I want to open this up for you. Now, could it be that my calendar is full? Yeah. Could it be that my calendar has a lot of open space? Yeah. But what did I just do with that prospect? I gave him the feeling like it's important to me. I gave him the feeling like nothing else matters but solving your challenge. Folks, 4 ways in creating urgency in the selling process. Identify the need as soon as possible. Understand the time frame that they've been dealing with this pain. Bring it to reality in a tone and questions so they can experience what happens when they don't address it. And then segue that into what happens when they do address it. Followed by, let's now go ahead and kick this off sooner than later because your challenge is extremely important to me and I want to make sure that we deliver it sooner rather than later. Folks, this process works. I know it. It's proven and repeatable. And don't forget to share this with others so that they too can experience the value of implementing these 4 key strategies to improve their sales cycle. Cheers.